गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We are again getting together for this never-ending Dakshinamurti Stotram. Already we have done how many? 2 retreats on it? No, 2, come on. One was residential and one was here. So 2 or 3. 3, okay, 3. So we come to do the retreats not to finish the text but to finish ourselves. But apparently we have not done a good job. So we are back here again and just a recap. Before I do the recap, we'll just chant the mantra. These are a group of 10 verses by Adi Shankaracharya, and there is a dhyana shlokas also before that, which you might not have, but I will chant it. Those who have, they can chant. Otherwise, when we come to Vishwam Darpana Drishya Mananagari, there you all can join in. Just to cool me down. This chanting is to cool me down. I'm too worked up right now. Shri Dakshinamurti Stotram Dhyanam Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varshishthante Vasudrushirgana Ravrutam Brahmanishthaihi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudra Mananda Rupam Swatma Ramam Mudita Vadanam Dakshinamurti Midhe Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam Sakala Muni Jananam Jnanadata Ramarat Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami Chitram Vatataror Mule Vruddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinnasa Shayaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyaptya Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Now is the main text. This was the Dhyan shlokas. If you can't pronounce, just listening itself is blissful. Dakshinamurti Ashtakam. It says Ashtakam. Ashtakam means 8 verses. But actually, if you see, there are 10 verses. Why? We'll answer later. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivod Bhutam Yatha Nidraya Yasakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanamevadvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarevankuro Jagadidam Prang Nirvikalpam Punaha Maya माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत् कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत् साक्षात्करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाछिद्रघटोदरस्थितमहा दीपप्रभाभास्वरम् तननं यस्य तु चक्षुराधिकरणात् द्वारा बहिः स्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमस्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता भृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहा व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्मामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भास्य नलो निलो भरमः नाभो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्माद् विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मात् अमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात्तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्येतत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहृतम्. So this Dakshinamurti is a composition by our Adi Shankaracharya ji, and more about it you can listen from my first lectures on this one. I will not repeat it all over again. And here in our Sanatan Dharma, in our Vedantic language or thought, the idea is to dissolve the individuality and recognize that you are one without a second. And that one without a second does not mean that there is something else called second. There is only you. And this transformation of the vision, this transformation of your acceptance of yourself. Right now you are accepting yourself to be an individual. Now you have to start accepting that you are the infinite one. Other than that infinite, nothing else is. What about the world? What about the parents? What about my children? Who cares? Then who is left? Only the self. And studying Vedanta is not a sadhana. There is no practice here. There is nothing to do. There is nothing to achieve. Then why are we here? To have lunch. To have lunch. That is our main purpose. So if there is nothing to do, nothing to achieve, nothing to realize, then we have been thinking wrongly. Yes, we have been thinking wrongly. Vedanta also initially, when a student is not matured enough, what is maturity of a student? He is not refined in his thinking. That is his maturity. So what is refinement of thinking? Where your thoughts are only about the infinite nature that you essentially are. That is refinement. Having this disposition, you are not refined, you are not matured. Then what will happen? You will sleep in the class as I go along. For them, those who are not refined enough, the last two verses of this Dakshinamurti will be told. But we have still 3 more to go. So, bear or prepare. At this very moment, as we take, so this is the basis of Vedanta, that nothing to liberate, nothing to achieve, nothing to realize, no sadhana required. All you have to do is, all you have to come to be, or as long as you think you are an individual and you call yourself as an individual I, you have to realize that this I is not only with reference to this body. This I is the infinite one. And as long as you think you are an individual, the only faculty here required is the intellect. And we will make you, Dakshinamurti makes you think in such a manner that your thoughts don't lead to any conclusion, yet they all dissolve away, and what is left behind is you. Such is the prakriya or the methodology if we want to use. And this methodology called Vivek. Vivek means a discrimination. And here we are not. So if we cannot realize the self, why? Because we are already the self. But do we know how not to do anything? We don't know how not to do anything. Then what does Vedanta tell you? Because Vedanta, I'll repeat this, I've repeated it many times, I'll repeat it again. Vedanta means where words stop. Vedas are scriptures, they are full of sutras, shlokas, they are made up of alphabets. Alphabets joined together form words, words joined together in a particular format are called sutras or shlokas. So Vedas are complete composition of these sutras or shlokas. Where they conclude, where do they conclude? Into nothingness. Or into what is their source? Where are they coming from? That is Vedanta. And one more thing we have to realize here in this Vedanta thinking, we feel as an individual that I am there, this world is there. Yesterday, day before yesterday, one person called me, Swamiji, I'm going to trouble you every 2 months. He's been practicing some concentration. He was going into depression. He started, I gave him some exercise. He started doing that, and then he found his own way. But basically, it's the same thing. He doesn't want to say that I am learning from you. Swamiji, I discovered. I said, okay. We want everyone to be independent. So he is working. He is now in his late 50s, maybe 60. This year 60. So he is there in the government department. All others are youngsters. He has to perform better. And so self-worth was less. Self-confidence was very less. And he started focusing on each word that he is typing. And he became so focused that everything became clear to him. Crystal clear. And now everyone, all the youngsters and grown-ups, they all come to him for guidance over a few years now. So New Year resolution. He says, Swamiji, I am aware of the whole world. I said, good. What's next? I said, well, you say that you discover everything. No, I want to check it against you if my thoughts are resonating with your thoughts. So you tell me. I said, no, you tell me first. So he says, no, I am aware of the world and nothing disturbs me in the world. I am very clear where I stand. I am living in the moment. I said, good. What's next? He says, so I did not say anything. I asked him. So he says, now this year 2024 goal is to dive deep into my subconscious and find out those subtle, fine thoughts of the subconscious, the vasanas, the impressions in my subconscious mind, and find out where those fellows are coming from. What is making me who I am? He went on and on and on for 5-10 minutes. You have to give them time to talk. First he has to get exhausted, then I'll exhaust him further. So when he finished, he says, what do you think? I said, you're going the wrong way. If you try to delve into your subconscious, if you try to pick up one thought from the deep subconscious and try to dwell on it and try to find out where has it come from, this world is a cyclical game going on. Somewhere along the way, some subconscious impression thought will come and hijack you, and suddenly 4-5 years of your life will be gone, 1 year will be gone, and you will say, Swamiji, what happened suddenly? Then what should I do? I said, come to Dakshinamurti. No, he cannot listen. Some people are like that. For them, the last 2 verses are there. So then what to do? I said, okay. Exactly the same thing what I told you. You have to come to ascertain, come to a conclusionless conclusion. You have to come to accept without a doubt that you are the infinite one. And for that, you think your way. I'm not going to tell you what, because you don't want to come to the class, I'm not going to repeat it. So you find out your way. And 2 months later, he will call me now again. Then we'll find out that what works for him is good. And it's worked. He has come till here. So what do? I said, don't do anything. He says, but I cannot not do anything. I said, then don't come to the class. This is where our problem is. Thursday's class, we said we have to think in such a manner that our thoughts cancel each other and only you are left behind. And that is where this sixth, sorry. Paramananda got realized. ठीक है. So these Dakshinamurti Stotra, we are on the 6th verse, isn't it, Amma? Ushama? 6th.
Swami, we did half of the 7th.
Half of the 7th, okay. We come to the 7th then. And we'll just recap the 6th one and take it from there. What about the previous? Go to the YouTube and listen. And tomorrow we'll recap the whole thing if we finish it today. Here we are. So we are in the 7th verse. The 7th verse says, Rahu grasta devakarendu sadrusho maya samachhadanat sanmatra karanopasamharanato yo bhut sushuptah puman pragaswapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhijñāyate tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Shri Dakshinamurtaye. See, this is the beautiful text here. Dakshinamurti is the young teacher, and the student who is listening to him is it came in the Dhyana shlokas. What did it say? Chitram Vatataror Mule Vruddha Shishya Gurur Yuva. Chitram Vatataror Mule. Under a tree. Imagine there is a Chitram is a picture. Vatataror Mule. At the base of the banyan tree. This time when I was in India, just now we had a retreat in Guhagar, south of Bombay, 1 week, in a forest. And so many banyan trees. The entire journey to this Guhagar was full of banyan trees. You go anywhere on the roadside, there are banyan trees. I felt like building a kutia under every one of them and having lectures. Chitram Vatataror Mule Shishyas Vruddha Shishya. Vruddha means old. The student is old, elderly. How he has become elderly? He has lived in this world, done his duty, done his jobs, come to know that he is not fulfilled yet. Something is missing. He is still searching for happiness. And he comes to Shishya Gurur Yuva. And here the student is the Yuva. He is a young and this, when we say it is Dakshinamurti, Dakshinamurti is another aspect of the divinity. And he is facing south. Dakshina. And the student is facing, if you want to use it literally, he is facing north. We must always face north. We must always look up. The teacher, he is looking not down at you. He is looking at you. And who is this student and who is this teacher? It is that one reality alone which is playing the game of, on one hand it is playing the role of a teacher, and another place it is playing the role of a student. The teacher is always young. Any one of you feel old? Huh? Body may not support you, but mentally we are all young. And the spirit that we are, the consciousness that it is ever young because it never gets old, because it is never born. That is Dakshinamurti. And who is the student? The one who is identified, the one who is conditioned, the one who is attached to his changing body, thoughts, emotions, convictions, etc. Wherever you get attached to something, old age begins. Really? Start thinking, how can I live without living in attachment? Then you will be ever fresh, ever new, like Dakshinamurti. So here he says, anyway, that was just a point that came. Rahu grasta devakarendu sadrusho maya samachhadanat. See, in the first 4 verses, I was telling Usha in the car, first 4 verses of Dakshinamurti are the knowledge. The self is propounded, self is brought to you through different examples, and we went into the depth. It took two retreats for us to complete those 4 verses. Then the last 2 verses, what did we do? 5th and the 6th verse. Swamiji, you tell. We forgot. 5th and 6th verse were about refuting all other paths. What are the other paths? Some people think, like many Aussies think, this is the world that I see, that's all there is. There is past life, future life. Who cares, man? This is life. Drink, marry, and enjoy. That is one. These are in our philosophy, in our Shad Darshanas, such people with this type of attitude towards the world and life, they are called Charvakas. What they see is what they believe. Seeing is believing. Is that true? Sometimes it is true for you. That's why we get into arguments also. We are not able to see from other people's perspectives in life, isn't it? They only believe what they see. And what will happen afterwards? Who cares? Whichever way they can, they want to make themselves happy. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about the atrocity or emotional. There's no emotional investment. Only it's about me. I must be happy under all circumstances. You must have all come across, or maybe you have behaved like that sometime. Like this, then there is the Jain philosophy, there is the Buddhist philosophy, then there is the Sankhya philosophy. The different philosophies are there. So all these philosophies, Shankaracharya took one by one. In short, he found the fault in their thinking, because our goal is not to prove we are right. Our goal is to come to the self, to be the self. And those philosophies do not take you to the self. And all the other 4 are included in the Buddhist philosophy, the nihilist philosophy, which is the Shunyavada. And this was done, and that was also refuted. There the example, if you remember, was of the deep sleep was taken, and there it was told that what is deep sleep? Deep sleep is absence of all objectivity. Aham and idam, the I and that, is absent. The triputi, the seer seen seeing, the hearer heard hearing, the knower known knowing, the experiencer experienced experiencing, this play of 3, all these 3 which go to form a thought in our mind, all these 3 are missing. or subject and object is, it seems it is missing. Because you can't remember, there is nothing there to perceive in the deep sleep. Absence of waking and absence of dream from your mind is equal to deep sleep. And the meditators, they came to this point consciously. And they came because their attention was on the world. Systematically, through various sadhanas, they removed all the thoughts from their mind and they came to the conclusion there is nothing. They came to the conclusion there is nothing. How can nothing be something? This is the Vedantic argument. How can nothing be something? How can from nothing something come out? Because out of deep sleep, their philosophy and our philosophy, till Sankhya philosophy, we accept out of the deep sleep state, the waking and the dream come out. But if deep sleep state or an empty mind is a state of shunya, a state of nothingness, a state of void, how can from that which no thing, that is no objectivity, how can from that something come out? And when all objectivity goes, how can is a void an object of perception? And this is a mic, this is an object of perception, this is a laptop, this is an object of perception, this is a phone, it is an object of perception. You are all there, these are objects of perception. If I remove all of you, what is left behind?
Space.
The Buddhists, they say nothing is left behind. These are the present day Buddhists. We are not talking about what Buddha said. So this is one argument, that there is nothing left behind, and we say nothing, we have brought that word into our vocabulary only with reference to something. Because now there is absence of something, we are saying there is nothing. But there is no object called nothing. You just like you have these fingers, this is the index finger, middle finger, ring finger and small finger. So in between these two fingers, what is there? Nothing. Between these two fingers, what is there? Nothing. What is between this circle? Nothing. So because our attention is on the object, on contours, on some name and form, which we call as an object, that absence of object we are giving a term called nothing. But there is no object called nothing. See? And this happens to you many times. During the day, during the night in sleep, in meditation it happens to you, where your mind has become absolutely silent. It has become, I can use other words also, it has become zero. See? So this conclusion that there is nothing comes about, now be very attentive, this comes about because our pursuit was to remove the objectivity. Removal of objectivity will lead to absence of objectivity, that is the absence, nothingness. This is the shortcoming in this process of contemplation. In Vedanta, we don't come to, we are programming ourselves, because mind is only an instrument. Whatever you put it into it, it will start thinking like that. The question is, are you convinced? Yeah? You got married, from one moment to the next moment, I am a wife. Show me where you are. Nowhere. Only a woman. But wife should start behaving funnily. You start acting funnily. You start talking funnily. Huh? husband also similarly. But where is that? It's only because you have accepted I am married. You have accepted I am a friend. You have accepted, you have, with faith you have accepted these are my parents. So you are doing your duties. When to that extent we accept, Vedanta helps us in that. It helps us in accepting that we are the infinite one, not the limited one, the infinite one. So when we remove by whatever contemplation or by Nam Jap or by observation of breath, whatever way, we come to the last thought going away. We don't come to there is nothing. We come to the self. With this recognition that the presence of the thoughts and absence of the thoughts are also illumined by someone. That someone, that inexplicable, that unobjectified being is me. My mind does not have the capacity to come to it. But intellect says, I am, I am, I am. See? And when I say I am, I am, I am, I say I am a man, I say I am so many years old, I say I live in this address, I say I have got 2 arms and 2 legs and head, I say I am this person's friend, I say I am a teacher, I say I am a student. I am remains common. All other attributes are coming and going. So you know you are a continuous entity. But where is the mistake we are making? That we think we are continuous as the body. That is where we make the mistake. That is where we make the mistake. So here, in the 5th and 6th verse, Shankaracharya, he refuted the various philosophies or the points of contentions as put by them, and eventually he, in the 6th verse, he took the Shunyavada. See, if Buddha said that there is Shunya, there is his approach to that Shunya, to that zero, to that nothingness was, it cannot be talked about. We also say that, that the self cannot be talked about. You know, we studied on Sundays, we take the text called Amrit Anubhav. There it says, truth is Satchidananda Atma. Sat means pure existence. Chit is pure consciousness. Anand is continuous bliss. There Jnaneshwar Maharaj says these 3 words and other words like Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, ever pure, Mukta, ever free. All these words are abuses. My God, what? They are abuses to that reality. Then why do we use these words? Satchidananda Om, Satchidananda Om. We keep chanting mantra. It is only to cancel the word Sat. It is a word. 2 alphabets, Sa and Ta, half Ta. They have come together to form a word called Sat, Chit. Then why is Sat used? We talked about it in one of the verses, in one of the first 4 verses. Sat is used to cancel Asat. We have to neutralize all the thoughts that are appearing in the mind. If all the thoughts are existing, how do you counter that? And what is existence and non-existence? So we say truth is the existence and all these thoughts are non-existent because they come and go. So Sat is used for the spirit or the consciousness that we are. Chit is used, the word consciousness is used for the spirit that we are, only to counter inertness. So all words, Sat, Chid, Anand, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swarupa, all these are used to counter and neutralize what we are not. But when you counter that Sat and Chit, and when you come to such texts by realized masters where they say these words they cannot define the truth. Truth is undefinable. Vedanta says that it is beyond the words. If there are no words, how can you define the truth? See the game that we are playing with our mind? And in this whole game, somewhere the mind will become quiet. With understanding. First mind will understand, then the mind will understand that it cannot understand. We think, we have all come to the class, including me, that I am going to teach that which cannot be taught, and you are going to understand that which cannot be understood. Now you are appreciating what I just said, but when you came, you never thought that way. You came to understand. You came to, oh, Dakshinamurti, I think that is a good one. This is a deep text. It is written by Shankaracharya. Yeah, I love Shankaracharya. See? So we are not trying to come to any conclusion in life in these classes, because we are already who we are. Now for that, what we are already, then why are we not realizing it? Towards that, this 7th verse, is it this? Where are we? Rahu Grasta was the 6th one, isn't it? Yeah. So what I was telling before, 1st to the 4th verse was the Atmic Vichar. 5th and 6th are the refutation of all the other ways of thinking about the truth, what they believe, and we refute it from the Vedantic perspective. 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th is reiteration of what was told in the first 4 verses about the Atma, and then the text concludes. Then why is there 9th and 10th verse? 9th and 10th verse is for those people who are still objective in their orientation. They understand all this, but the moment class is going 5 minutes over the class time, Swamiji is going long. He said only 1 hour class. See? Or the moment class is over, the chicken farm will begin. I never met you. Where are you from? Oh, this. Oh, blah. Oh, really? It's so nice to meet you. Can I get your number, please? Networking begins. Talking about the past begins. No, not remaining in silence continues. How nice it will be. How you are silent right now and I am only talking. After the class also, only I am talking and you are silent. And remember one thing, having said that, the truth that you are always, in essence, is not in opposition to thoughts or no thoughts in the mind. It's not in opposition. Then why did we practice, talk about shunya and that we have to neutralize the thoughts? It was only initially. After that, life is going to continue. Mind is going to do its job of thinking. Body is going to do the job of pain and comfort and discomfort. Tummy is going to do the job of hunger and thirst. It will continue. But now there is only one difference. What is that? Once you have sorted yourself out, who you are,
there is no ownership.
There is no ownership to anything that is going on. Why? You are not available. then where are you? You are absorbed in yourself all the time. But till that happens, why suddenly? Then where has this problem, not problem I should say, this idea of objectivity, idea of identification, idea of ignorance, that I am under the spell of Maya, I am under the spell of ignorance. Where has the self that I am always, which the scriptures are talking about, where is it hidden? Where is it hidden? So here he says in the 7th verse, where that was the 6th verse, 7th verse we have to do. बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. In this verse, as I told you, 7th and 8th verse are reinforcement of the thought that was presented in the verse number 1, 2, 3, 4. What was it? Atma Vichar, that Atma is, the self is. That same thing is being restated, and we have been told that this Atma is not the body, this Atma is not the Indriyas, meaning the 5 senses, this Atma is not the intellect, this Atma is not the mind, and this Atma is also not the absence. And this Atma is not any one of them. Then what exactly is the Atma? And this is told here in this particular words, Swatmanam. Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam. Well, we'll not go into the other verses, just the first word, Swatmanam. What is this Atma? Swa Atma. Swa means self. Your own self. Right now, your own self, you consider yourself as the body self, is the I. You consider yourself, I am the husband. If I tell you, you will never come, the normal person will never say, I am the spirit. They'll only say, I am the father, I am the brother, I am the son, I am this, I am the employee, I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the sleeper, I. But he will never say, I am the spirit, I. He'll never say, I am the conscious, I. He might come to that point if you keep, next, आगे बोलो. He says, if Swamiji is asking, means there is something more for me to say. He'll keep contemplating and he will automatically come to that conclusion. So, what is this self if it is not the body, breath, mind, senses, absence of them? It is Swatmanam. It is your essential nature. What you call as self at this moment, that self alone in its essence, in its true nature, is the Atma. And what is this real self? Here it says beautifully that it is Sada Antasfurantam. In the verse it says Antasfurantam Sada. Isn't the second line? Anta means inside. Sada means always. Sfurantam means throbbing. Sfurantam can be throbbing, revealing. I am revealing all the time. Are you taking me for a ride, sir? How is it possible? Now the examples are given here. Balya, Dishvapi, Jagrada, Dishutata. We will come to it when it comes, when we come to that. So this Atma, which is ever revealing itself within. See, talking about in the first four verses, Atma is this, Atma is that, Atma is infinite, Atma is unattached, Atma is all that there is. How do I catch it here? Where do I, is there, it was not told before, but now it is being told that you are that self. It is being told the self that you consider yourself to be at this moment itself is by nature infinite. How? We will delve into it maybe this in next 10 minutes and the next class. And this Atma, this is ever revealing Atma. It is. Do I need that? Does someone need to prove it to me that I am continuous? Do you need to tell me, Swamiji, you are there today also? Acha, I am there today. Okay, let's take this class. Then after next class, after tea, Swamiji, you are there again. Now please take the class. Nothing like that. Nobody needs to tell me about my own existence. I am continuous. We don't think this way. We only think of ourselves as I am existing as the body, I am existing as the various roles that we are taking, etc., etc. So, Surantam means it's ever revealing, it's ever shining. It is self-evident. I don't need to think that I am. In spite of thinking I am. In one of the verses we gave this example. Do you think every morning after getting up, oh my God, I'm still the man that who went to sleep last night. I'm still the woman. Oh my God, I'm still a woman. I'm still a man. Do you think throughout the 24 hours, do you think of yourself, I'm the body, I'm the body, I'm the body, I'm the body, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the woman, I'm the woman? Do you think this way?
No.
Why? It is self-evident, isn't it? Even more self-evident than this is the consciousness, the Atma that you are. And you recognize that about yourself. Nobody needs to prove it to you and show it to you. You know that you are alive. Nobody will say, I am a dead person walking. No, you are alive. And this is Furantam. And when is this self-evident, ever-shining self experienced? Sada, always. When we put some examples in to explain this, it will all fall in place. It's always you are experiencing yourself. There is never a lag of one moment, absence of any moment that you are not being the self. Where is it experienced? Am I experiencing myself in Shailaja at this moment? No. I mean you, Surut? No. In the table? No. In the laptop? No. I am experiencing myself within this body, isn't it? This is the data that I have right now. I am experiencing myself in this body. Because I don't know what it means to experience myself without the body. Whenever there is absence of the body, the only state I know is in deep sleep. There I am ignorant about myself. At least I feel that way. So we are trying to break through this conditioning. So I experience, now we will show it, that we are experiencing ourselves within this body-mind complex. And it is, there has never been a time when we have not experienced ourselves within this equipment. So, and how do I experience myself within this body mind complex? I recognize myself as I am continuously. Anything I have to say, I am a brother, I am. I am a teacher, I am. I am the body, I am. So, what is the common denominator? I am. What is changing? All other attributes that this I am gets identified with, attached with, associated with. The attributes keep changing. But I am remains the constant. And this is how I know I am alive. This is how I know I am conscious. This is how I know I am existing. So this is my direct experience. So you may be listening, you may say I am listening, I say I am talking. After listening, suddenly you say I was sleeping. After that you say I was eating. So eating, listening, sleeping can keep changing. Is I am changing? It is the continuous one. So whether some attribute is there or there is an absence of association, I am doesn't become less or more. I am becomes objectified in words when there is some attribute for it to associate with. So when I say I am a man, the moment the man attribute comes, I am comes out as words. But when there is nothing, does I am become absent? Do you feel you are absent? Between two thoughts, are you absent? Socho. So we know ourselves. We are the continuous one. We may not have thought in this manner before, but now we come to see here when it says balyadishvapi jagradadishu tatha sarvasvavasthasvabhi avastha. Yeah? Avastha means states. Avastha means dasha. Avastha means these are the different stages. So the first line which is talking about is what? Balyadi. Bala Adi. Adi means etc. Bal means child. So what are the stages of life when you look at yourself? Childhood, youth, middle age, old age, and old age. Huh? So, childhood, when childhood was expressing, was youth expressing? No. When youth was expressing, was middle age expressing? No. Others were absent. When middle age was expressing, was childhood, youthhood, and old age expressing? No. Each were exclusively distinct from each other. They came, they stayed, they went. What? The childhood came, it stayed for some time, it went away. Youth came, it stayed and it went. Middle age came, it's still going. Old age, I think aajkal though many kids are also behaving like they are old. But all these stages of life, they have come and gone. Do you feel I have come and gone? This who has not come and gone, we are talking about that. This is your direct experience. Talking in air, talking about ideas before, in the first, second, third, fourth verse. The concept was given, we dive deep into it. What is the nature of Atma? But now we are making it our own. This is our direct experience, that I went through birth, I went through growth, I went through disease, decay, body is pain everywhere. Or I'm going through the various stages of childhood, youth, middle age and old age. And because these changes are taking place, does not mean that I am changing. I have always experienced myself as the continuous one in spite of these changes. When you look at your whole day, this is just from body point of view. When you look at your whole experience, day experience, you go through the waking experience, you go through the dream experience, you go through the sleep experience. Again, the waking experience is a play between the waker and the waking world with the instrument called waking body. Dream experience is a play between the dreamer, the dream body and the dream through the dream body of the dream world. But because the waker came, right now you are all waker, because the waker came with this body and you are thinking, I am studying Dakshinamurti and I have to realize this, that. But this also, it was not, yesterday it came, then in between there was a gap. There was a dream, there was a dreamer expressing, there was a sleeper, the absence of the dream and waking was there. So waker, the one whom you have accepted 100% as you, is also not 100% because there is a break in his continuity. Break is when the dreamer comes up, break is when the dreamer also goes away and sleep comes. So your one day of experience is waker plus dreamer plus sleeper. And this cycle continues all over again. And when you become a little bit more conscious of this process, then you add fourth one to it. Waker plus dreamer plus sleeper plus meditator. Why? In meditation we sleep only, no? See? But these states of waking, dream and deep sleep and samadhi are also coming and going. But do I feel from childhood till today we have gone through these three states? These are not stages. Stages was childhood, youth, middle age, old age. These are states. Waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. They are also coming and going. But I don't feel that I have come and gone. I was, yesterday also the three states came and went. I was there continuously. Before that, from childhood till today, they have, all these three states have, or four states have come and gone, but I have continued to be the same. I am alive, I am the life, I am the spirit, I am, full stop. There is no break in my I amness. There is a break in waking, dream and deep sleep experience. There is a break in childhood, youth, middle age, etc. But there is no break in my own being. Meaning, there is no break in my own continuous existence. All you have to do is recognize that you are this continuous one. All problems are for the discontinuous one. All problems are for the ego, the discontinuous one. Ego is not continuous. In dream that ego is absent. In deep sleep it is totally absent. The waking ego is not there in the dream. Dreamer fellow is not there in the deep sleep. So in this manner, you contemplate on your own continuity. From this, Adi Shankaracharya is talking about that this Atma is a Atmanubhava, that it is your own direct experience. You don't need to be convinced about it. See, Vedanta is not studied through reading books. Those who are reading books and trying to understand Vedanta, you will never understand. Very difficult. It has to be only three processes: Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Only by listening. You will never find the subtle nuances that hide behind these statements, that hide behind these examples. Because same, who is studying? The wife is studying. How can wife come to realize the truth? Not possible. She will only realize the husband. See, but when we are sitting here, you are listening. Do you at this moment feel you are the man or the woman? Do you feel you are a wife or a husband or a mother or a daughter? No, you are empty. You are just completely, I hope, completely absorbed in the topic that is going on. And if you are absorbed, the whole topic is only taking you back to yourself. The words are just triggers to go beyond the words. So when we are using the words waking, dreaming, sleep, samadhi, our focus is not on dream, waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. Our focus is what is the continuous principle behind it, that you are, because waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi are my experiences. Who is saying that this is my experience? There must be someone for whom these four experiences are coming and going. Oh, that one, that's me. No, that's, yeah. You don't have to articulate it. So we use the words, and what is the resultant? The X factor is you. And we call that X factor, which is the continuous one, which is the continuous value that you are, that is the, we name it in scriptures as Atma. We are given it a value. As long as we are talking, discussing, giving a lecture, studying the scriptures, talking about that which cannot be talked about, it has to be given a name. When we can give a name to absence of everything called nothing, then why can't we give name to that which cannot be known? Not Voldemort, huh? It's Atma. And you cannot think of Atma, you cannot meditate on Atma, you cannot work out the Atma, you cannot infer the Atma, you cannot objectively perceive the Atma, you cannot logically come to be convinced of the Atma. Who will get convinced? Intellect. In whose presence is the intellect functioning? That you are. So don't say, I am meditating on the self. You cannot meditate on the self because you are already the self. Meditation is for the mind. Then what do you say? If at all you have to say, I am not meditating on this. If I can't say meditate on the self, then what do I say? Then what do I say? But you have to say something.
Meditate on something that cannot be meditated on.
That is true, Now only one option is left with us. But nothing is not an object to be meditated upon. We already started the lecture like that. Nothing is not an object. Yeah. So, and we don't know how to think nothing till sleep comes. So all we can do is do vivek. That is what we are doing. We are continuously bifurcating what is changing versus what is changeless. What is continuous versus what is not continuous. What is conscious versus what is not conscious. We know now, because the student is asking, these two verses are about where to catch this Atma, how to, it is your direct experience. It's not a figment of imagination given by the scriptures. In this verse, your life experiences are being brought as a mirror to you, and you are being shown that all this childhood, youth, middle age, waker, dreamer, sleeper, all these come and go, but you do not have an experience of coming and going. You are the continuous one. Oh, but the waker came and went, I also came and went. No, but who knows, when you look at the whole day in its entirety, or look at your whole life as entirety, you know from childhood till now you have been continuous. You know in that someone there within you knows the waker, dreamer, sleeper coming and going. Which one are you accepting yourself to be? Only as the waker. And who are you? The continuous one, in whose presence all the states are coming and going. So here in satsang, we are bringing your experience of your life as a mirror to you in this verse. In the first, second, third and fourth verse, the concept of what is Atma, it was first you have to be fired up. Hey, I want to know the Atma. This is fantastic, man. This is, oh, what a deep thought. We all said that. Now it is practical. You are going through this every moment of your life. So all the changing experiences, balya, deshvapi, the avasthas, the waking, dream and deep sleep, the states, all these are negated only by one word by Shankaracharya. What is that? Sada. This Atma is always. This self is always. The moment you take always, everything that is intermittent, everything that is temporary is automatically negated. So who are you? Do you accept yourself as the continuous one? Do you accept yourself as the effulgent one? Do you accept yourself as the immaculate one? Do you accept yourself as the ever shining one, in whose presence all experiences are coming and going, all states are coming and going? Are you accepting? Therefore, this experience, the Atma Anubhav, literally speaking, the experience of the self, is not an event in time, because it is continuous. Even time is illuminated in the presence of the self. I'm going for meditation. I'll come out realized. Not going to happen. So it is not an experience. It is not an event in time. It is not a conclusion. Because once you have concluded that there is nothing in my mind, you have come to zero mind. After that, you cannot live with a zero mind continuously. Mind will click back again. And if your attention was only on zero mind, chitta vritti nirodha iti yoga, If that was your conclusion, and I have to remove whatever is not. If I have removed whatever is not, I have made my mind zero, but I have not come to ascertain, come to this and whatever. for lack of better word, conclusion. The Yoga Sutra says, Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. After having chitta vritti nirodha, after you have made your mind zero, tada, then drashtuhu, see your own swarup, your own essential nature. Now, how can you see your own essential nature when your mind is quiet? You cannot think when the mind is quiet. So this needs to be programmed in the mind beforehand. And this programming is only because you are thinking you are an individual. Self doesn't need to be programmed. Self is as it is. The doubt is where? In the self or in the mind? In the mind. So this whole prakriya, this whole exercise, intellectual gymnastics is going on for whom? For the self? No. It's going on for the mind. And in the mind there is a concept, there is an idea that I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the sleeper. In the mind there is a concept that I am intelligent or stupid. In the mind there is a concept that I am a man or a woman. And therefore this needs to be counteracted. If all these are thoughts by which you have convinced yourself, you need another sets of thoughts to neutralize them. And once they are neutralized, what remains? That you are. And that name is given here as Atma. We'll look at it further in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.